Hey everyone, welcome back to my declutter. This is the last part of this declutter, and this is featuring all the lip products that I am decluttering. So what you see in here is every single thing that I am getting rid of. Keep in mind that I have been blogging and vlogging for the past 9 years, so I've collected quite a bit of things. The last time I did a declutter, I didn't really check the dates of the items that were in my collection, and I just went off of the smell and like swatching them if the formula has changed. So it wasn't as cutthroat. But this time around, I actually spent some time going through every single tiny label of the manufacturing date to make sure that I have gotten rid of all the products that are expired in my collection. And this is basically everything that I found that were expired that needed to go. A lot of these things were actually just sitting in my Alex drawer because I was most of the recent items that I have collected throughout the years sat in different drawers, and these were pretty much forgotten. They were pretty much part of my makeup archive. And it actually felt so good getting rid of these products because I just had them in the drawers just sitting there not being used because they were old and they didn't need to be taking up room. So over in this top section is all the jumbo lip pencils that I have collected throughout the years. The jumbo lip pencil format is my favorite to collect because they are so easy to use. They're very convenient to carry in your purse. So that's why I have a lot of them. Over in that section, I just had some Bite Beauty duos and products that you get from Christmas and whatnot. So those ones are just expired and need to go. And then I have the L'Oreal Le Matte Lilac collection. Over there I have some Wet n Wild like Fergie collections, some Tarte ones, and the most collection that I had was the Revlon crayons because I would buy all the colors to make a video on them and then swatch them, and a lot of them only get used like once or twice because I didn't really, I wasn't too fond of the colors. And so that's why I have a lot of the colors, and I don't do that anymore. And then throughout my years, I only just buy colors that I know I'm gonna use. And then on the second portion are the cheaper lipstick products that I have collected throughout the years. So a lot of here I have some NYC. I have a ton of the Wet n Wild matte lipsticks because they would come out with limited edition colors. Some of these have the seal still that I haven't even opened because I never bothered to swatch them, and have some City Color cosmetics, and I believe I kept maybe one or two that were brand new from this collection. Again, a lot of my Wet n Wild products, a lot of them have gotten that white cast, like looks like growth on the lipstick if you let it sit for too long. So some of them have that, but not everything. And I love these NYC lipsticks since they are not part of the I haven't found them in any stores, and I did keep one color from that. And then over in this section I had some of my Jordana, some NYX matte lipsticks, some LA colors, and I didn't want to like go through the pile because it's a pretty big pile and they're kind of just like piled in there. So on this part of this pile of lipsticks over here are a continuation of the bullet lipsticks that I own. So a lot of them coming from Revlon, Rimmel, and whatnot. So I'll just briefly tell you which pile is which. So this first one is the NYX butter lipsticks. These were some of my favorites. They're very moisturizing, so their butter lipstick and lip gloss line were some of my favorites. I have a few from e.l.f. over here that I've collected and I just don't use them. And then over here are some of my CoverGirl one. I've decluttered some of the other CoverGirl products I own, so it's not as big, but my Revlon one is my favorite, and it's probably the biggest pile in here. And those ones were, I think they're the butter line as well from Revlon. And I'm actually embarrassed to say that during my decluttering I found 3 versions of Revlon's really red color, and they were all expired. I was so sad, and all 3 of them still had their seal on them. And then over in the section I have most of my Rimmel Rimmel makes really good lipsticks. I loved collecting them, and they had a really fun collection with Kate Moss at one time during the year. And these ones right here are the liquid lipsticks and lip gloss collection. This is just really random. This one is my Wet n Wild liquid catsuit, and then these ones have expired really quickly. I don't even think they've lasted that long, and they smell pretty bad. So those ones are getting tossed, but they are some of my favorite formulas out in the drugstore, the liquid matte lipstick and the lip gloss ones. So I'm just gonna quickly point out to some things. So I have some Kat Von D, Vampire and Lolita. The originals in there is my favorite. I'm decluttering because they're old. These Revlon lip glosses, I have so many of them, and a lot of them still had the seal on them, which makes me sad. I had some Ultra Satin Lip like backups from ColourPop that went bad and they separated, so they're getting tossed. I have a lot of those velvet mousses from Hard Candy. I think I kept maybe one or two colors, but I decluttered the colors that just made me look like a corpse. And this pile right here is my biggest disappointment because it's all my Maybelline lipsticks. Out of every single collection I had from Revlon, Rimmel, the Maybelline lipsticks are the only ones that actually got mold in them, which is really strange. So I'm not really sure what they're doing with their lipsticks, but a lot of the Maybelline have some sort of growth in them compared to the Revlon one. The Revlon lipsticks actually have the best shelf life compared to a lot of the drugstore foundations that I found. They have an average of 5 years for their shelf life compared to the 3 years that Maybelline has. I meant to say lipsticks, not foundations, but over here are the ColourPop matte lipsticks. I bought so many of the matte lipsticks when they first released, and they were the worst formula ever. So most of them got decluttered, and I only kept the most recent ones that I've purchased that have the better formulation. I think they were reformulated after their first launch, and I got most of the first launches, so that's why there's a lot in this pile. And then I've decluttered some of their duos that have the lip liner at one end, and they just kind of separated from the entire bullet. And then over here I have some NYX liquid lipsticks, and then I'm pointing out the Epic Ink lip. I only bought 2, and it's probably the worst from the line. I don't even know who thought that was such a good idea, but it's horrible. It stains your lips. I mean, it's meant to stain your lips, but it's like really drying, and the stain on your lips just makes you look like a corpse. So I don't even know why I purchased that and didn't return it, but I did have it in my collection. So this is pretty much everything that I am decluttering from my collection. And I started with 2 drawers from my Alex drawer that were filled with lip products, and I'm proud to say that I no longer have a lip drawer in my Alex drawer. I actually now have 1 empty Alex drawer, and then so now I'm gonna show you guys where I currently store all my lippies. So I have a few acrylic lippies that house my lip collection. So I put together all my ColourPop lipsticks in one drawer, and then on top of that is all my ColourPop liquid lipsticks and lip glosses. So I was able to consolidate them and put them in one drawer, and I'm pretty happy about that. And then in this drawer, I kept more lip glosses, so some from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and then most of my Milani lip glosses, which are my favorite, and then a few from Lorac, and then some from MAC. And then in this drawer are the more popular matte liquid lipsticks, so a lot of my Lorac ones, some from The Balm, some from Ofra, some from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and then a few Kylie's that I owned. I own maybe only like 3 Kylie matte liquid lipsticks since it's not really my favorite formula, so I have that there. And then on the top are just my ColourPop lippies that were from the Disney collection, 1 Charlotte Tilbury, and then my Pat McGrath lipsticks that I own. So they're kind of like my special ones, so they got their own little area. So on this other section of acrylic drawer, I just have some of the kind of memorabilia lippies that I kept in these drawers. So some from LA Colors, some from Jordana, and then over here I have some of the Milani ones. And then in the section I have some like Jeffree Star like specific ones in here, and then my drugstore ones. So a lot of my Maybelline ones, and the ones from L'Oreal, the Infallible line, and then on the bottom I have most of my Milani ones, which I love. So those ones, I checked all the dates on those, so those ones are still good. And then this is more like memorabilia lippy, so I put some of the Katy Kat matte lipsticks, some of like the older ones that don't exist anymore, so I just kept it in that section. And then over here I had enough to put together a drawer for the Sephora creamy lip stain, which is one of my favorites from Sephora, so I didn't realize I had enough to actually put together a drawer full of those. Okay, so this is the aftermath of finding out that I was using the same lippy over and over again. So I've decided to kind of organize my lipsticks and lippies in a way that would make me want to kind of explore new lip colors. So this might bother a lot of you who want it, you know, organized in a specific way, but this worked so well for me so far. So in this section I have the lip glosses that I own. So any color lip gloss, I didn't want it to be a specific color drawer, so any glossy type of product goes in this drawer. And then on this section right here is any matte liquid lipstick type of product. And so every time I feel like a color, I just reach over here and I kind of like reach from the bottom and just kind of like jumble them together just so I get a surprise color, and it's worked out so well. And then on the top two drawers from the Container Store drawers are all my bullet type lipstick products. So these are not organized in any color whatsoever, so if it's in a bullet type of product, they go in here. It makes cleanup so easy after I do my makeup, and this has made me discover so many new lippies that was in my collection that I wasn't using, and it's actually making me declutter a lot faster as well. So if I use a lip product and I just don't like it, I've pretty much just toss it. So I've probably decluttered maybe 3 more lip products after I've organized these drawers this way. So I'm just happy that I'm actually finally able to kind of use my collection and then see what I have, and I know what I have in each drawer. I've realized throughout the years that every time I had lip drawers that was like super neat looking, I just never really reached in there and grabbed a product, mainly because I didn't want to disturb how organized things are and it doesn't encourage me to use them. So I've realized I like throwing my lip products in a certain drawer, so this organization actually works out really well for me and I'm actually really liking it. And I know if I want a specific product, I have it in the acrylic drawers. So that is pretty much it for this lip declutter. Thank you for watching, and if you followed along with this entire declutter, I actually didn't film the actual declutter. I just filmed the ones that I decluttered from my collection, mainly because I wanted to do it on my time, since it was very therapeutic to kind of not be in front of a camera while I was actually sorting through the process. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video.